So since the last time we're here, I've since introduced the date of birth field here, and I've also changed the color of the hobbies here because that blue was feeling a little bit too loud. So the final thing I want to do on this table here before we move on to something else is to work on these actions here. So right now they are the default bootstrap reactions, but something that you should know is actions normally have a hierarchy. I want to say a hierarchy based on how often they're used. So like a usability hierarchy. So you'd imagine people would edit more than they would delete. They would delete people in fewer instances than they would edit. So in that case, then the hierarchy, the edit should be more prominent than the delete. Yeah. So now with that in mind, we can do something to help that hierarchy be a little bit more obvious. And then the other thing I want to add was a view button here. It's a common thing to have, not necessary but quite common. So let's add that in there. So I have a view here. Obviously this will be a little bit different. So yeah, now with this hierarchy, I want the view to be most prominent, and then the edit, and then the delete. But before going forward, I think those font sizes those buttons are very large. So let's reduce them with the text small plus here. Okay. Weird. Okay, there we go. So yeah, those small text make it a little bit better, and then I want to work on those rounded corners. Just remove that, something like that. And then now let's work on the prominence. So the most prominent will be the view, like I said. So I'm going to make this use a background for this one. Let's put it at I'm going to make this text white, and I will have a border gray, maybe 600. And also BG gray 600. So yeah, that will be the most prominent one because people would view more than they would edit. And then lastly, I think people would edit more than they would delete. So I want to make this even less prominent. I'm going to remove the border and then just make this remember how I said links and actions sometimes I like to use underlines. So yeah, you just give it the underline to make it feel like an action, or look like an action rather. So yeah, that way somebody can see the hierarchy is a little bit clearer there. Something you can do to help that hierarchy a little bit, you could make that edit even less prominent by maybe reduce this to make like a border that is too far down. So maybe like use opacity. Maybe 50 or 75. Yeah, something around there. So it still looks like a button, but it just feels a little less in your face, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe increase the space here a little bit. Something like that. Obviously now in cases where you have tables with so many fields, you'd probably want to consider using icons here. I use hero icons for all my icons, so I'll show you there. I like using SVGs. Not like, I only use SVGs because SVGs is just something I can copy and paste, and you won't need to make a network request to fetch an SVG. So you can see the view there. Maybe reduce this to 3. And then have a flex, convert this to a flex layout. So yeah, something like that. Maybe inline flex instead of flex. Yeah, so something like that. Something I like to do when I have icons is give the icon negative margin left. I just feel like sometimes it just feels visually right that way. I don't know why. just a little bit of a negative margin, and maybe use lower cases for these guys. Yeah, I feel like lowercase works with the better with the icon there. Maybe raise this to a 4. Oh, I remember you have that 0.5 down. Maybe use that. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then on the right, maybe a 1.5. Okay, so yeah, you'd see something like that, and then the view becomes even more prominent. Yeah, still like we could go to 1 for this. Don't know, not really, doesn't quite. Okay, so there we have it, and then we have the edit. I can just come in and search for an edit icon, something like that, or maybe this. I like this better. So first you have to make this inline flex. How are you calling that? We can copy these guys here. So this guy, the guy who created the icons, is actually one of the creators of Tailwind. That's why you see his SVGs come with this, with 6 and 8.6, which are Tailwind classes. So yeah. Okay, we have that now. Edit is there. I don't think I'll have an icon for delete. You could try to do that, but I think it would be weird. Let's try and see. Okay, let's copy that. See, it just feels off. You know, I don't dislike it too much. So maybe I'll keep it. Let's see. Reduce the margin right a little bit, maybe to a 1. You know, I actually don't mind it that much. I'm going to leave it as is. So yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah, so visually we have a padding on this button, so it just feels could maybe reduce this to a px2 instead of negative. I don't like the negative margins so much. They feel like hacks sometimes you don't have a choice, but yeah. So yeah, that's how you would finish that off. I'm sort of happy with how this turned out actually. Yeah. So moving on to the next video, where we'll start looking at maybe the other screen of adding a new user. Thank you.